The First Coast's most accurate forecast from the First Coast News Weather Team, certified by Weather Rate, sponsored by AC Designs.
Hey-o, happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody.
What a start, Ross. Yes, it is.
Yes.
We made it to Friday. We got such a great weekend with so many good things. We had football last night.
We did.
It's back, NFL.
1-0, baby, go Birds.
Birds. Ross up all night watching the Birds. Had to stay up late.
Past my bedtime.
With weather up there. I'm telling you, happy Friday to you. You excited about the weekend?
I am, yeah.
We got anything special happening this weekend?
Well, I did have a dinner planned with a very special someone.
Yeah.
Over here.
Hey, listen, you never know. The element of surprise.
Already canceled on me.
The element of surprise is the best part, right? Surprise.
Had a date, was going to be kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Guess I don't have to be nervous now.
No, you just be comfortable. Your birthday is when? Is it Saturday?
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Ross Mumai.
Thank you.
It's the last time we'll talk till his birthday. So, folks, chime in. For heaven's sakes, wish our guy a very
Appreciate
happy
it.
birthday. Yeah, that's awesome.
Appreciate it.
We even have it right there. Well done.
Oh.
That's the hustle.
Toby's on the P's and Q's back there.
Ready.
Oh, she was prepared.
She was prepared. She knew. Let's hop right into it because we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of weather to talk about, and then of course we got to talk football. It's the Friday tradition, the Lou and Ross, or the Ross and Lou college football picks, which might actually equal because I don't know much about any teams that are playing this weekend.
Okay.
So my research was limited to my gut feeling. So this might actually be your opportunity to catch up. You're 2 games back right now after 1 week, that's pretty
Comeback
daunting.
season begins now.
It begins now. But that's in a moment over the next half hour or so that we get to talk with you. But it has been dry. And, Ross, you were noting the start of the month, we haven't had any measurable rainfall.
No, this is going to be 5 straight days to start off the month of September. No rain.
So some kind of unusually dry air has certainly been with us. Been pretty beautiful. I mean, all things considered, we've had the breeze, kept things nice and comfortable. That steady east and northeast breeze, though, we had some folks along the Julington Creek and the Durbin Creek in that area of Mandarin. So you hear Julington Creek, you may immediately start thinking about the neighborhood in St. Johns County. It's close, but that 2 or 3 mile difference makes a difference close to those tributaries of the St. Johns River with those really high astronomical tides coupled with these northeast winds kind of just pushing up against the St. Johns River. You know, St. Johns River flows north and empties right there at the jetties of Mayport. And with these winds like this, it makes it tough for that tide cycle to fully empty out into the ocean before coming back in. So, and then makes those incoming tides a little bit quicker. So that's why we're seeing some of those areas with that nuisance flooding. And I got a feeling we're going to be dealing with that because we got a full moon coming. We might be dealing with that for the foreseeable.
Yeah, especially early next week.
Yep.
We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, you mentioned how beautiful it's been, how nice it's felt.
Yep.
Taking the dog for a walk before coming into work. I mean, yeah, it's warm, but it felt pretty good. It was almost one of those days where I'm like, I just want to pull my hat down over my eyes and lay back on on a beach chair and just take a little snooze out there.
Just chilling out, absolutely. So comfortable on the beach with those mid 80s up there. We did hit 90 today, so we've had that streak of being below 90, but we got to put another 90 on the check mark for the year 2025. We had been enjoying some dew points even in the 50s here this last few days, but a little more humidity is trying to work its way in.
But really comparative to how a lot of the summer was.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't feel that bad for most folks. Now, our coastal areas out towards the beaches from St. Simons, Mayport, St. Augustine, of course, it's going to be a little bit more humid there, and you expect that. But,
sure.
Yeah, for a lot of our inland areas, feeling pretty good on this Friday night. Talking about Friday night, Lou.
I know.
Friday night football game of the week. Sports director Chris Porter is going to be out there at Bowles High School for St. Augustine at Bowles. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Looking pretty good. Not too concerned about any rain or storm chances tonight, which is the first time this year. Last 2 weeks, weeks 1 and 2, had some rain in the forecast, but not a concern tonight.
That warm, if you want to just nitpick a little bit, might be on the warmer side to start. But
look at you always nitpicking.
Nitpicking. Just a little bit, but overall, what a great Friday night for football across the state of Florida, at least Northeast Florida, with the St. Augustine going to visit Bowles. Chris Porter, like you said, be there live. We'll check in with him through the evening. Just it being right there on the river, Bowles. Some of our Bishop Kenny, some of those schools that are right on the water. Man, it's just it's a cool experience. It's and that's just a great environment. So that'll be a fun game to go to.
Where's Brunswick High School up in Brunswick?
Brunswick High School it's right off 95.
Okay.
So what is that? What exit?
Close
number
to
is
the
it?
water or no?
No.
Okay.
No. You're.
I apologize to my Glenn County folks.
No. So it's closer to. It's between 95 and 17. So it's
Okay.
closer to 95 than 17. But yeah, it's right there by the community college, or it used to be community college. Forgive me if I've no offense to anyone, but it's there's the Coast School of Georgia, I believe is what it's called there in Brunswick. But anyhow, it's right there. And then so yeah, Effingham County, which we remembered is Savannah, coming down to Brunswick, close to Savannah, not quite Chatham County. I'm looking at. Let's see. Rains at Trinity Christian will be a very interesting one because, as we know, Rains has been pretty good. So is Mandarin, and I'm worried about. Hopefully, Sandalwood proves me wrong, but Mandarin's been laying the wood on a lot of folks.
And this is just a tasting, so to speak,
really
of
is.
all the games that we're covering. We have about another 4 or 5
there's a bunch.
that we'll have highlights of tonight
Right
on
here
the
down,
sideline.
and right here down close to downtown. I'm pretty sure it's Tecoy going to Bishop Kenny.
Yes, I think you're right.
And so another great game. Speaking of being on the river, it's going to be very nice. So a lot of fun there. Morning lows, we're kind of ticking up a degree or two relative to what we've had the last few mornings. But when we had mornings in the mid 60s, we set
Yep.
a record, minimum temperature, record low temperature
Yesterday.
So yeah, it's been great starts to our mornings across the month of September. Feeling almost kind of October-y.
A little bit.
Just a touch, but that's going to be short-lived as we crank up the heat just a bit as we go to Saturday and into Sunday.
Yeah, hot and sunny tomorrow. We're still going to have that breeze going on, but overall, I think pretty nice day. I think we'll watch for a few maybe isolated showers that try to sneak in by the late afternoon and early evening, but I feel pretty confident in saying at least 70, maybe 75% of us stay dry throughout the day tomorrow. So if you got outdoor plans tomorrow, you should be okay.
Yeah.
Rain chance is going to be fairly low. Now, Sunday, maybe a slightly better chance for some rain pretty much after, 1 o'clock as you get into the afternoon hours, Lou.
Yep. I agree, and so that of course would take our minds to Jags football.
Also, I apologize. Isolated was spelled wrong there, but
It's a few showers certainly, but I think still the story is less rain and more heat. So we gotta stay prepared and hydrate. And some of our local, kind of local-ish Florida, Georgia college games. I've already forgotten. It's Long Island University, Florida State, who they're playing.
Oh no, Florida State's playing East Texas A&M.
East Texas A&M.
Florida played Long Island University last week.
I had already forgotten that the logo. No offense.
Wow.
That's right. East Texas A&M, the third largest of the Texas
A&M
A&M schools. Yep. So I listen. Even up towards Athens, it's a 3:30 kick. So that's pretty warm stuff out there for those kids. Not quite the full squeeze and hug of fall.
Yeah.
Just quite yet, but we'll get there. This might actually, especially for Athens, might be the last real weekend. We get towards the end of the month, we're going to start having some good fall
Fronts
conditions
dropping
in Sanford Stadium. So
there's a chance for maybe a few showers up there around Athens, perhaps prior to the game. They got a front moving in, so maybe some tailgating showers around. But it seems pretty broken and isolated, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that by the time kickoff rolls around for the Bulldogs up there. But here it is.
Okay, we're picking now.
Oh, I guess we were on the topic of college football.
Let's do it.
When I
can't wait.
put all of these in
I'm
order,
so
apparently
excited.
this is where my head was at.
Good. So yep. So if just so you know, each week we're going to pick some games, ones that you'll be able to watch on ABC. And some that have
Home of the SEC.
Correct. So you'll be able to watch those and just hold us accountable. Just for updates, Ross currently at 1-3 after
Correct.
week 1. I'm 3-1. So let's get into it. Let's start with Ole Miss at Kentucky.
The Rebels.
What you got, Ross?
I'm going with Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I don't think Kentucky's very good.
Right.
Austin Simmons, the new quarterback for Ole Miss, I think is pretty solid. I think Ole Miss is probably going to fly under the radar just because there's so many other, prominent schools in the SEC who have got some big and high expectations this year. So I'm going Ole Miss.
Yeah, I think, and even being in Kentucky, I'm going to do the same thing. more than a touchdown favorite in that game. So, yeah, logic would just say let's go Ole Miss. All right.
And a few thunderstorms in that.
Yeah.
In that game as well. A few showers and storms possible. So
maybe a potential for a delay, I guess,
Yep.
but we'll watch that. So are we going left to right? So we're going to go to Kansas, Missouri next?
We are, yep.
All right. So Kansas, Missouri is interesting.
heated rivalry.
But they haven't played since 2011. So
And I was told by our morning producer, Sean, this dates back to the Civil War.
yes, it does. It goes way back. This is a very, very old rivalry. We lost it when Missouri came over to the SEC.
Okay.
Right? So, even, I guess, before. Well, 2011 is that. I guess that's about when that happened. But anyhow, so we lost that. But it's just a great old-fashioned rivalry. They're playing it, second game of the year. Usually these rivalries are kind of, you save them up for the end. But it being a non-conference, Missouri is about a 6.5-point favorite in this. But you know what? Give me Kansas.
Oh.
Give me Kansas. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. KU. I will take them. You have to throw the records out. You know what I mean? You got. It's hatred. They don't like each other. They haven't done it since 2011. I'm thinking Kansas takes it, and you've got Mizzou.
I do have Mizzou.
Not a bad pick. They are the favorites, and they are at home. So
Only for one reason.
Yep.
Bo Pribula,
okay,
quarterback for the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah.
Was the backup quarterback at Penn State the last 2 years.
Okay.
So only reason I'm taking Mizzou, my boy Bo is the quarterback for him. So got to go with him.
a few showers down for USF in Florida, in Gainesville. Certainly had that afternoon, kind of watching. I take the rain gear with you, the poncho, and just be prepared for a few showers in Gainesville. Big favorite. UF's playing pretty good football. They're looking sharp. So, yeah, I think we're both going to go Gators. Huh?
Yeah, I think it'll be a more competitive game than the Gators had last week. But, yeah, I think there'll be just too much for USF tomorrow.
There you go. And the big boy, got, two ranked here, Michigan going to Oklahoma. And I just wanted, I kind of wanted to be a little different. I wanted to go against Ross, to either extend my lead a little bit, be a little different, and B,
how did you know who I was gonna take though? Because I'm a Big Ten guy.
You're a Big Ten guy, but I know Ohio State and Michigan are kind of the bugaboos in my opinion. In my opinion, that's just, and I don't know what Ross picked. I was just kind of guessing. I think he would go lean towards Oklahoma anyway. My guy Ross lived in Oklahoma for a while. He's got some heartstrings attached. Then we might get a little emotional here.
Oh, some tears.
Going to let some emotion get the better of him. By the way, Oklahoma is the favorite at home, even though technically by ranking they are ranked a little worse. But give me Michigan. I'll take Big Blue.
Taking the Wolverines.
Okay, and
wow.
you're going to go.
I'm going to go OU.
Okay.
I don't dislike the Michigan pick. I think Michigan's got an elite defense.
Yeah.
And they could essentially throw like the stick in the wheel well of the OU offense.
Yeah.
But I'm a big John Mateer fan.
Yeah, I know
the
you
transfer
are.
quarterback from Washington State.
You've got him on your
Heisman hopeful
hopeful
yes.
list. So
I think he could. I think he's going to play lights out. But again, Michigan
defense might be the
Michigan's
kryptonite.
defense could stall him out. Other part of that, the other side, Michigan's freshman quarterback, Bryce Underwood, he played pretty well last week, but this is his first big test. He's going into Oklahoma now, an SEC school, going down to Norman, Memorial Stadium down there. They're going to be rocking and rolling night kickoff.
Yeah.
That's a tough environment to play as a true freshman. I think it might just be – I think Bryce Underwood's going to be a very good quarterback. Might just be a bit much for him in week 2 of the season.
I like it. Good picks. And if nothing else, we are different on 2 of these games.
Might be able to crawl back in.
Or let the blowout commence. Or we can just let the full-on blowout commence if it goes all Lou Turner's way. So there's your record. Jags.
And who you taking? Jags Panthers.
I'm taking Jags, and that's not a heart pick. That's not an emotion pick. I just think Jags have a little bit better of a football team at the moment. A little bit better. Be interested to see that rookie over there with the Panthers, Cam. See what he's got going on. But I think Trevor. Hey, listen, make or break.
Oh, Cam,
isn't that their quarterback?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Sorry,
Cam Ward went to Tennessee.
Why did I say Bryce?
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, that's right. I thought the Panthers had the first pick. It was the crappy Titans.
Yeah, the Titans had it.
No, thanks for picking.
No, the Panthers took that the big wide receiver from Arizona, Tet McMillan.
Okay.
I'm not sure how you say his first name completely, but I think short it's Tet.
Well, now I have to change my pick. No, Jags. Jags still win. Jags win anyway, and I'm just, if we're going to talk football for a second, come on, Trevor's got to do it now. It's time. We're done with the.
If not now, then when?
It's right. Let's throw for 400. Let's run a couple TDs in, Trevor. Let's be a bad A for a home opener.
And this is the first time fans are really going to get to see Travis Hunter unleashed in action. You saw him on the depth chart. He's listed as a wide receiver and then as a backup cornerback. So it will be very interesting to see how they utilize him on both sides of the ball throughout the game on Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
Especially with the heat and the humidity out there. Of course, they've trained in this all offseason or training camp. But I feel like no one's really in game shape that first week or two. I mean, these guys in the preseason, they're only playing one or two drives down the field, and then that's it.
Yep.
Couple series, so
might look a little sloppy to begin.
Yeah,
but they'll find their stride and get going, and so the story becomes the heat index being in those triple digits or near that 100-degree spot. So just keep that in mind. We've been blessed with a few days of comfortable conditions. So if you had your heart set on that and you think, but by Sunday we're going to be the same, it's going to be just a little level hotter. And we do have a couple of rain icons in there. Computer modeling suggesting some showers try to blow in right around kick and right around Saturday. So we're talking about most people staying dry Saturday. And
this plays out through Sunday then.
Yeah, yep. And so you're looking ahead to Saturday. We saw some of those showers by 2 o'clock around 295 west side of Jax, kind of out there. But again, most people will stay dry. And then as we kind of get all the way out to Sunday afternoon, that's what we mean with that opportunity for shower. Now, a lot of the better chance is going to be a little bit further south of town. It's looking like right now, but we have to include the bank and a good portion of Duval in there, just in case. So just prepare. But it might be one of those things where it's so hot, you've been out tailgating, you get in the stadium, you get one of those big thick clouds come and cover the sun, and you get a little downpour. Might actually make life a little
make you feel pretty good.
Make you feel like a superstar, like you're ready to go run out there and tackle somebody.
Now, what we don't want is any lightning.
Right.
Of course, we had that with last night's game up in Philly with the lightning, and they had that hour or an hour and 15-minute weather delay. Yeah. Hopefully, that's not the case here. Of course, it's possible. Yeah. We could see it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a great chance of it, but there will be at least a few isolated showers, perhaps some storms around.
4 or 5. So you're walking out of the stadium for 30, and head back to the car. Maybe, there's a little thunder lightning, but, I still think the most unstable, and humid, hot, sticky kind of conditions a little further south. So maybe that's hopefully, and maybe I'm hope casting here. I just don't want to see any sort of delays. Looking ahead, our, front coming through, that's going to kind of, allow for our coastal trough setup, a little troughiness offshore. So by Monday, Tuesday, moisture pumping in, and then first of the week, we're bringing back that strong northeast flow off the ocean. It really hasn't left us and will weaken a bit, but then strengthen right back up by Monday. Talking about higher rain chances Tuesday, even higher with that moisture really coming in off the beach. And then, full moon is Sunday. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to mean higher than, normal tides anyway.
Yeah. And then you get that just persistent northeast wind.
Yep.
Anywhere northeast 10 to 20 miles per hour Monday and Tuesday. So that's looking like it's the windiest of the start of next week. Monday and Tuesday begins to weaken perhaps a little bit by Wednesday and Thursday, but still having the northeast wind. Now, I do think, by the middle to the end of next week, although we might still have this in place, we're moving away from full moon. The wind's relaxing a little bit. So if we're watching 2 days that the minor coastal flooding could be the largest concern, so to speak, we're really looking at Monday and Tuesday specifically. And then, of course, you just got the rain and storm chances both of those days as well. And that'll continue, as you mentioned, Lou, through at least Wednesday, perhaps Thursday.
Yeah. So we're kind of like bumping it up a notch for Tuesday. So we are going to put a weather impact alert in for our Tuesday just because a little bit higher rainfall total, a little bit higher rainfall coverage. By that point, Monday's kind of ramping up. Tuesday, we're kind of perhaps hitting our peak. We might even see it through Wednesday, though, so we'll kind of keep our eyes on it for that as well. But, kind of a similar condition. We've seen it. We've kind of been through it the last couple, like the last 10 days, the weekend where we had, that steady rain. And it wasn't, you remember, it wasn't necessarily for everybody, but the folks who got it got a ton. So it was kind of that like northeastern quadrant of Duval that just kind of got all that steady rain. So we'll have that kind of chance again.
And then you want to talk a little tropics here before we go?
Let's transition.
Got another,
to
7 minutes here?
Yep, time to, we got to talk tropics. And I was about to say an encouraging note. I don't want to, put any qualitative sort of label on it.
Just something interesting for
it
the
is
National
interesting.
Hurricane Center.
Yesterday we were talking, and it was the Hurricane Center had us at a 90% chance of development. Right, so and even over 48 hours had it at 60. And what you notice here is it has come down a bit. This tropical wave, still call it off the coast of Africa because that's what it's closer to than anything else. But marked by the X. I don't want to get too ahead of myself because it has windshield wipered. All right, so we've seen modeling be extraordinarily aggressive and show some things in the worst case scenarios that would make your eyebrows go up. And then on the other hand, now we're seeing things that have it completely dying out. And if you look at it, here on your infrared satellite loop, Ross, it's not those two kind of clusters of thunderstorms back closer to Africa.
It's the ones furthest to the left there.
It's to the left. The center of organization's not really over kind of, and there's no real center, so let me correct myself, but the kind of what they've marked as the potential, the greatest potential is up north of the area that's really along the ITCZ, so it just doesn't look impressive at the moment.
Yeah.
It has not organized, so it's nothing yet. So we don't have Gabrielle yet. We don't have a tropical depression yet. So much is still possible with this. I'm not going to, qualify that 75% as, good news, because there's really no news yet. But, you look out and when you look at the spaghetti model plots here and the timestamp in particular, so we're looking out towards Wednesday. Even Wednesday, now the HMON out there I see has it at Wednesday really moving quick and up towards Hispaniola, but a majority of things still have it kind of just entering the Caribbean and or still near the Lesser Antilles or the leeward and windwards. So that's a long way out, right?
Yeah.
So even if it's just Wednesday and we're still at that point, you're talking next weekend, middle of September at this point. Like we're already midway through the month by the time this would be at worst approaching the East Coast.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most interesting parts, right? We've watched this since the beginning of this week. Had they had it highlighted last weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, so since the end of August,
right,
we've watched it, and this could be a track that we watched for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks even.
Yeah. Because it was really being watched before it came off the coast of Africa.
Yeah.
It was watched on Africa. It had not even emerged, and the Hurricane Center had that, area to watch, the yellow, or actually, it might have just gone straight up to an orange. But whatever it was, the area to monitor was already highlighted before the thing had emerged off the coast of Africa. So yeah, it's been a long, and it just yesterday was the first that they've actually run the spaghetti models at becoming an invest. Mm-hmm. So that would just happen yesterday. So that's the first step. And if you look at the model comparison, your GFS, your big global models in the Euro, look for the circles, right? You look for the concentric circles marking low pressure, and not overly impressed this run.
Really nothing standing out significantly. I would say perhaps more than anything, not that this still couldn't become something, right? It still could.
Absolutely.
But there's so much untapped energy in like the Northern Caribbean, Southern Gulf, that, and you can kind of see it here. The GFS is showing a little concentric circle, just to the east of the Yucatan.
Yep.
Not to say something's going to develop there, but I think it probably wouldn't take a lot.
Yeah.
Especially as we get into the middle to the back half of September, early October, you happen to get, a weak low somewhere down there in the Caribbean or Southern Gulf, it could quickly organize and develop, rather quickly. And I think some of the longer range models have just shown hints of that. We kind of expect that too, right?
Sure. That is and then you're talking about
it was just something I don't know if we've really seen that yet this season.
No,
not a whole lot.
We haven't
of it
seen
yet.
much of anything. I mean, really, we had Aaron, and then several other tropical storms, and some that
Well, I guess with regards to that area.
Yeah, correct. We have not.
We'll watch for that early in the season, June and July.
Yep.
But then typically, you're watching more so for those tropical waves that come off of Africa, and that's kind of what we've watched here now for the past month.
Yep.
But I think there are some just like hints that maybe the Caribbean could be interesting.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just so this GFS run, with a more Gulf resolution, it's so different than what we were seeing. I mean, even 12 hours ago. It's
very true.
It's so different, and the Euro is so different than. And now, whereas the Euro has been somewhat consistent in just killing it off. Mm-hmm. It's indicative, kind of the time of year where the models are going to have to, they're going to have to start taking into account the information, the data coming in with the battle of autumnal air, the fall air. I mean, it's truly like the mid latitudes and up and beyond are starting to get their fronts, and that consistent passage of fronts that we're already starting to see kind of try to dip down into Northeast Florida, that's got to be taken into account as well. And I think the models are having a hard time with that. So it might be why we've seen a bunch of different resolutions with computer modeling with this. So active pattern though coming. For the weekend we are talking about higher temperatures. We are talking about some rain chances climbing by Sunday afternoon. But I think Jags football is just fine. And then through the week we will have to maybe even adjust some of our rain chances because it looks pretty wet. For the week.
Does, yeah, especially Monday, Tuesday, perhaps even further than that there through the rest of the 7-day.
Well, that'll do it for us. It is 4:28. We'll see you back here at 5 p.m. For Ross, I'm Lou. Have a great Friday. Happy weekend, everybody.
Every day to earn your trust. First Coast News on your side.
Hi, folks. I'm meteorologist Lewis Turner, working here at First Coast News. We're on your side. Been here since 2010, forecasting the weather for Southeast Georgia, for the First Coast and Northeast Florida. And it is a blessing and a treat to get to do it and work here with the First Coast News Weather Channel, which is powered by the First Coast's most accurate weather team.
Is making sure you are prepared to start your day.
I grew up watching First Coast News. I grew up watching Tim Deegan.
Meteorology is not only my job, it's my hobby. I love being a meteorologist. I love being a part of your day.
When it comes to a forecast, trust isn't just one thing. Trust is the only thing that matters.
The First Coast's most accurate weather team, sponsored by AC Designs.
I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta, First Coast News on your side. I've been working in meteorology for almost 20 years now, working with the Navy, even at Naval Station Mayport, as well as overseas, inside and covering typhoons, some of the biggest storms on Earth, and taking all that knowledge back here to the First Coast and in the Jacksonville and help tracking our hurricanes and severe weather in our neighborhood, knowing how they impact not only our local community, but the military as well. And number one thing, of course, is being on your side, keeping you safe with your most accurate forecast. So make sure you download that First Coast News app, and also you can stream our newscast on First Coast News FCN Plus, as well as any severe weather or special weather coverage.